Thank you for joining us. I'm Miss Willcox, I'm the head teacher.
And I'm Mrs. Rodrigues, the school Senko and the pastoral care manager.
Lead. Something or other. Yeah. The two ladies that you see on the gate, we could be known as the gate ladies from now on.
Security.
We are just putting this small video together so you know our expectations for the term. Normally we would have meetings where you would come into school, but obviously this year because of COVID we're unable to do that. Okay, so as you're aware from all the new changes, we are a very COVID safe school and we're following a very strict risk assessment. And I appreciate your support coming in through the one-way system. The mornings seem to be really smooth. So we have drop-offs between 8:30 and 20 to 9. And home time, reception go home at 10 to 3, Key Stage 1 at 5 to 3, 3 and 4 at 3, and 5 and 6 at 3:05. And you know, with your support, it's going really smoothly. As the weather gets colder, I envisage a few teething problems, but I'm sure we'll work closely together. The children are working really hard to keep in their bubbles, and I'm not allowed in them, and they tell me off if I come through my door bubble. And we're adapting slowly but surely. And as far as I can see, on the whole, the children are really happy and enjoying being back in school. So uniform should be navy trousers, navy skirt, a white shirt or a blue polo shirt, a navy jumper with or without the emblem on, but please make sure you label everything. Jumpers and cardigans all look the same, and when the children do the smell test, it's not always accurate, so please make sure you put their names in them. On their day that they've got PE, they can come in their PE kit. They need to have black or white trainers, navy tracksuit where possible, white t-shirt, because as much as we can, we are going to be doing PE outdoors to keep the ventilation. The other days when the children haven't got PE, we are going to carry on doing the mile, and we've just invested in lots of skipping ropes to try and get our children and our staff fit again. And so if their school shoes are not suitable for running, then they can keep a pair of plimsolls or trainers in school, but only trainers. The children should be wearing school shoes, not trainers for school. So I'd appreciate your support in that, as well as teaching them how to tie shoelaces. That's a real bugbear at the moment. It's really hard to socially distance when you are tying shoelaces. PE days, you should all be aware of that. If there would be a change in PE day, we're going to be emailing you. So it's really important that we have your up-to-date email addresses and phone numbers, because most, if not all of the communication now will be through email. We're going to launch our school app further so that we can be sending messages straight through to the app, because I know so many people have apps on their phone and it's easy to access that. Illness, if your child is showing symptoms of COVID, so a continuous cough, high temperature, hot to the touch, or a loss of taste and smell, then you need to ring 119 and have a test. If your child is having cold symptoms, so a snotty nose, a sore throat, then if they are well enough, they are okay to be in school. Our behaviour expectations have always been very high at Hill House. We have our behaviour H, but obviously COVID has heightened that a bit. So spitting, over touching, they're now not acceptable behaviour because we're trying to keep our children safe. I have spoken to the children about that, and it's really important. Spitting is not okay anyway. It's absolutely not okay during a pandemic. So I would appreciate your support with that. Children's behaviours tend to be because of a situation or because of their emotional feelings, and that's where Mrs. Rodrigues comes in. She'll talk to you about that in a moment. Assemblies and parental involvement. Now, we love to have you in for our assemblies and nativities. It's not looking possible at the moment, so we're working really hard to think of ways where you can still be involved through videos. We're going to have a section of the website put up that we can save our videos on rather than the YouTube channel. So please watch this space, and if you have any great ideas or if you're a technical whiz, then we would really appreciate your help. Masks. Obviously, the government, when they first set out the guidelines for September, was that children did not have to wear masks and staff did not have to wear masks. As the pandemic is changing and rising, we will keep that under review. And if you have particular concerns about your child, then you know to speak to one of us on the gate, and we'll ask their teacher to give you a call, because I realise it's not as easy to see the teachers at the moment, but they're more than happy to give you a call after school. Parents' evening. So that's another issue we've got with having not being able to have parents in the school. So we're looking into other ways. So after October half term, you will be receiving a sort of a mini report about your child with their targets. And if you wish to discuss that further, there'll be a slip for you to tick and the teacher will give you a call at a pre-arranged time. Homework. Bug Club and Mathletics are up and running. And that will be set homework. We're also learning as a staff about Google Classrooms. Children have been given Google logins. We will be doing some help videos for parents. This is all set up and we'll be using it for homework, as well as if we have to isolate any bubbles, or worst case, if the school goes into lockdown. Now, I know those of you that were with us last year, you were really happy with our homeschool learning. So absolutely, we will still have the paper grids available for those of you that don't have the technology at home to support that. Communication with the office. The office is staying closed as much as possible because they are obviously a unique bubble and we very much need them to keep everything running. So as much as possible, if you could ring or email the office any communications, then we would be very grateful. I have worked really hard to create a very detailed and long risk assessment to keep the children and the staff safe. And I appreciate your support by keeping 2 meters away from our staff because we are coming into contact with a lot of adults and children every day. My priority and the staff's priority is to keep this school open. We need to keep our staff safe and the children safe and try and stay COVID-free as much as we can. I understand that with this situation that the children and parents and staff have different anxieties and we're here to support you.
And that's where I will come in. So I am taking over being the school Senko. If you've been dealing with Miss Sullivan, do not panic. She is still here holding my hand and guiding me through, obviously at a distance. But I will be taking over so she can focus more on her deputy head, sorry, just giving away your job, on her deputy heading. So we'll be dealing with the HCPs and the annual reviews during all of those. And I've spoken to most parents already, but we are quite lucky. And Miss Willcox has given myself every morning out of class, which means that I'm available to do mentoring for some of our children, because touch wood, most of our children have come back really, really happy to learn. But obviously there are anxieties. It would be insane to think there's not going to be. So we've got anxieties and we've got support groups to deal with those. I'm a qualified mentor and we've got 2 other learning mentors who we can do little groups with. We've got music therapy and play therapy that we also offer to support our children, because it is one of the most important things, as well as our children's learning, we're supporting their mental health. And that's always been a focus, and that's why Ms Willcox has designed it. So I'm out in the morning and Ms Trolloby's out in the afternoon. So there's always someone available for our children to talk to and to run our groups. From the point of view of parents, if you've got concerns, generally catch me on the gate, which quite a few of you have done, which is brilliant, because then I'm getting to meet you and learn more about your children. Or you can ring in and ask to be put through to me, and then we can discuss any concerns, because as well as the children, we are here for you, because we're all a community together and we want to support you and make sure that we get through this very strange time. But we will do as much as we can. And like I say, if you're dealing with Miss Trolloby, don't panic, she is still here and she will still be supporting you.
Last but not least, during the last pandemic, parents that were eligible for free school meals received vouchers, £15 per child per week, and that came in whatever supermarket you wanted. An email has gone out and it's always on our website. If you feel you might be eligible, fabulous, sign up. Key Stage 1 and reception, you do receive free school meals anyway. But obviously, if you've signed up and we do have another lockdown, then you will be eligible for the vouchers. And it does support our school in the long run. Thank you. And we look forward to having a very different but fabulous year. Take care.